Hey, how's it going guys? My name is Ray, and today I'm going to share with you quite an interesting recipe, because at this point the recipe is still a concept to me, but we're gonna find out together today if this recipe is actually any good. So without further ado, here you go guys, my Japanese inspired burger. Let's cook!
So before we start with anything, we're gonna start with the pickle, which will take the longest time out of all. Now for the pickle, you'll need 2 tablespoons of honey, half cup of Yuzu Juice. You can find this in any Asian groceries. And finally, half cup of warm water. Give it a little taste, and you can adjust the sweetness by adding some more honey to your liking. So I ended up with 4 tablespoons of honey in total. Next, you'll need some thinly sliced baby cucumbers. And then just transfer them into the pickling liquid. And you'll just have to wrap this with cling wrap and leave it in the fridge for about 1 to 2 hours, or overnight is better. Normal burger would usually have some lettuce on it, but because I wanna stick to the theme, I'm gonna be using some spring onions today that I'm gonna slice thinly like so. Then I'm just gonna let them soak in icy cold water until we're ready to build the burger. Pretty much just let them go super crispy and have lettuce-like texture. So that will go in the fridge as well with the pickle. So now for the miso dressing, I'm gonna need half bulb of garlic that I'm just gonna cut in half like that, and also 2 slices of ginger. And to that, I'm just gonna add half cup of sake and also half cup of mirin. And I'm just gonna heat them up over medium-high heat, and also add in 3 tablespoons of red miso paste. And finally, a pinch of sugar. And then just give it a quick stir and bring it up to the boil. And once it started boiling, you can turn off the heat and let it sit on the stove while we prepare the rest of the ingredients. And for the patty, we'll need 500 grams of minced meat and 2 pieces of shallots. Just mince the shallot finely and add it to the meat, and also the miso dressing. And don't forget to leave 1 tablespoon worth of the miso dressing to make the dipping sauce later. And then just give it a good mix. Add in a few shakes of white pepper, a pinch of salt, and this is optional, but you can also add some sesame seeds and seaweed slices as well. I don't have sesame seeds, but I'm using the seaweed slices. And when you have that, we're ready to go. This much meat will usually make about 4 patties. And before we start grilling the meat, we would wanna toast the bread first. I'm using a sourdough roll today, but I think brioche will work better for this recipe. But I just couldn't find brioche buns around this time, so I'm using this. So all you have to do is just to melt a piece of butter, probably around 20 grams. Place the buns cut side down over medium-high heat. You know when it's done, when your buns already look something like that. At that point, you can just take the bun out of the pan and set it aside, and now we can start grilling our miso patties. So now all you have to do is just to divide the meat mixture into 4 and form it into patties like so. Using the same pan that you used to grill the buns, just place the meat patty in a pan over medium-high heat and just cook it to your desired doneness. And while we're waiting for the meat to cook, we're gonna make some lotus chips, just to go with the theme. Although to be completely honest with you, at this point I don't even know if I'm being creative or racist. But anyhow, just heat up half a liter of vegetable oil in a small pan like so. And just grab yourself a piece of fresh lotus root and just peel and slice it yourself using mandolin. But if you cannot find it, you can use a frozen one like the one I'm using today. You can usually find them in the frozen section of Asian groceries. They usually come already pre-sliced like this. So if you have this, all you need to do is pretty much to take it out of the bag and put it in the hot oil. It's pretty simple actually. Exactly the same as frying some potato chips. And just try to give it a little stir every now and then, just to make sure they brown evenly. And now, going back to the meat. After spending 3 minutes on the first side, you can flip it on the other side. And just cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes until you get your desired doneness. And now we can start putting together the burger. And this is the spring onion from earlier that we sliced and put in ice water. Now that they've turned really crispy and looks like lettuce, we can just drain them with our hands or anything that you have and just place them on the bottom of the roll. Just check the meat patty doneness by pressing it down like so. If it still bounces back like that, that's probably around medium. I'm just gonna cook it for another minute because I want it to be medium well. And when you're happy with how the meat is cooked, just take it out of the pan and put it onto the bun. Add a few slices of the honey yuzu pickle that we made. As well as some nori slices. The same one that we put in a patty. And now we can check back on the lotus chips. It's almost there, we just need to cook it a bit more to make it even crispier. And this here looks about right. It should be slightly golden brown like so. And just take it out of the oil onto a paper towel, just to drain excess oil. And then just arrange them on the side of the burger. And now for the dipping sauce, I'm just gonna mix 2 tablespoons of Kewpie, which is a Japanese mayo. And also 1 tablespoon of the miso dressing that we reserved earlier. And finally, just a small dash of Yuzu Juice. And now we're just gonna transfer it into a serving sauce bowl. And that's our burger ready to serve. So there you have it guys, my experimental miso burger with lotus chips and miso dipping sauce.
So I hope you liked that simple recipe. It turned out just as I expected. All the flavors are there, I can taste the miso, the yuzu, the honey, so it's pretty good. And if you'd like to try out this recipe, the links and measurements are going to be in the description box below. And if you enjoyed watching my videos, don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Twitter to get the latest update on those videos. And I'll put a link to my previous videos right over here, so don't forget to check that out as well. And you can leave a comment below, let me know what you want to see me cook next week. See you next time guys, bye!